My name is Ewout van der Schaft. I am a professor in Xi'an Jiaotong-Liverpool University. I'm working in the business school and I'm teaching management.
Makes XJTLU different than other international universities in China?
Oh, how should I start? There's so much going on. In that sense, you already asked in the question international university. We're definitely an international university. We have a very international faculty, an international student body, and that's really what we want to be. It's an international university bridging what happens in the East and in the West. So you see all the variety. Having said that, I think we are also very young. In that sense, some universities have a very long history and do things always the same. We, as a university, started in 2006, and I'm from the business school. It's since 2013. Just to give you an example, in a business school there are three things important, which is the accreditation called AMBA, EQUIS, and AACSB. We got that as the youngest ever. So in that sense, that is symbolic for the whole university. We are very entrepreneurial and we do things in a very quick way.
I cannot understand Chinese. Can I still apply?
I'm not proud of it, but my Chinese is also not as it should be. And in that sense, you can get by. We do recommend students to study Chinese, and we also have that as part. So everything they do to degree is in English. So you study in English, it's for a UK degree and a Chinese degree if you're an undergraduate student. However, you get Chinese classes next to that. But you don't have to speak Chinese when you apply. The courses will be tailored on you. Some students start with a little bit of Chinese, some are already quite good, and also quite a few just don't speak any Chinese, and that's all possible. You can all get by. The facilities, everything, the signing, everything is in English, and in the university it's the most international place you can be. But also if you get by, etc., you can in that sense get by without Chinese. But of course you should use the time in China to also get a little bit of Chinese, or maybe get very good. That's up to you.
How's the experience of living in Suzhou?
Well, Suzhou, in that sense, students love to be in Suzhou. Suzhou represents, I think, the old China and the new China. There is a fantastic historical center where the students often go to, and you have very canals, gardens, etc. So it has really this ancient Chinese beauty. But Suzhou also has the modern side. It's a city of over 12 million people. And there are a lot of businesses going on, there are a lot of investments. There's a very modern, we call it the SIP, the Suzhou Industrial Park, and it has everything a modern city has, skyscrapers, etc. So you think in that sense that you're there. And the little bonus is 25 minutes by speed train, and then you're in Shanghai, and Shanghai again represents both. So it is also in a very international environment. The city itself, Suzhou, is very successful and good. It's one of the top cities in China, but then it's also close to Shanghai.
How's international student doing at XJTLU?
International students at XJTLU feel at home. It is in that sense a environment where they easily can get settled. We have, when they arrive, we have all the services for them to immediately get their accommodation, get, for instance, bank cards. They're picked up from the airport. But once they're there, they are really in a community. A community, of course, there are many Chinese students, but there are also many international students. So they have, in that sense, the best of both worlds. If you take as example, I'm supervising always for the thesis, for the dissertation, and I'm supervising also quite a few international students. Like this year I've got 2 international students from Indonesia and 1 from Korea. And these international students have done very well and are doing very well. They write about topics which can be related to China and Indonesia. It can also, of course, be a Chinese topic. So they do that and they are very successful in that, and it's a joy to work with them. So it is nice to see the development of students coming in when they're around 18 and then graduating at 22. So we make sure that the students are good with the topics, they understand China-Indonesian relationship, they understand the whole Asian context, but they, in that sense, also are developing as a person, so that they're very confident, they present well, and are good at communication and presentations, etc. Because the learning is very varied, very different things they learn.
Can I get a job after graduate?
All our students, well, it depends if you want a job or if you want to further do your masters. Most Indonesian students, they prefer, after, for instance, they do an undergraduate study, to get a job first. And some of them do that in China, some of them go back to Indonesia and do, for instance, a job which basically connects Indonesia with China, because it positions you very well for that. We have a career office in the university, we have a career office in the business school, for instance. We also have a career office in the international office. So we do focus on getting the students a position, being it an internship or maybe a position after. It is not that it comes automatically to the students, so we expect the students to take initiative, and in that sense we will help them. It does require a little bit more paperwork than, for instance, compared to Chinese students, but that can be easily overcome, and we want them to be successful. One thing I have to say is we have an entrepreneurial college called Taizang, which is our newest venture in the university, and there the internships are an intrinsic part of their study. So every year in the summer they do a few weeks of internships, and that is arranged by the university. So that's another example how we think the students can get their work experience.
Are there available scholarships?
Yes, there are available scholarships. When you apply, you have to tick, in that sense, a box that you're interested to be considered for a scholarship. And then we will look at your motivation, we will look at your grades, etc. And the scholarships are between 10 and 50%.
3 words about XJTLU.
Yeah, 3 words, that's the hardest question, because I know so many words I want to tell you. But if I have to do 3 words, I still come back to the international. I would say innovation, and I would say curiosity. We want curious students who want to become better, want to be global citizens.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you for the opportunity.